Hey, and welcome back. Today we're looking at The Fight. The setup for this one is that Michael is procrastinating doing real work, and Dwight reveals his karate skills to the office. These two plot points intersect, and it comes to the obvious conclusion of a fight at Dwight's dojo. The Fight is the 6th episode of the 2nd season of The Office, or 12th episode overall. It was written by Lee Eisenberg and Gene Stupinski, and was directed by Ken Kwapis. It aired in early November 2005, and interestingly was written and shot to precede the Halloween episode. There are deleted scenes that include Devin in the background, and this was viewed by just a shade under 8 million people. At any rate, let's hit the bell.
No one asked you anything ever?
I need to confess something. I never really had that much appreciation for this episode. After trying to edit this episode together in a few different ways, I've learned to appreciate that these two characters who are not good fighters are being portrayed by two actors who do not want to physically injure each other while trying to be funny along the way. But with that, enjoy this.
A lot of rules on the street. We didn't have any rules. Maybe one. No kicks to the groin. Home for dinner.
Test your might. Round 1. Fight!
Okay, game on.
Fight!
Would I rather be feared or loved? Easy, both. I want people to be afraid of how much they love me. And I think I proved that today at the dojo.
Those two talking heads with Michael get me every time. They are by far my favorite parts of this episode. Okay, and what else to talk about? I always have closed caption on. I'm not sure why I do it, but in this episode, I'm really glad I did because I caught something that I've never noticed before. When Dwight is on a high after punching Michael, he's teaching Kevin some techniques, and then I heard this.
Take this pen, okay? Stab me with it.
There's a few other great things I'd love to call out in this episode too. I love Michael and Dwight's confrontation in the kitchen. It's amazing.
Michael.
Hey, Toby.
Any word on those
Hey, you know what?
time
I have an
frames?
idea. Why don't you leave right now? Why don't you walk away from the room, okay?
But I'm pretty sure Kelly can't keep a straight face here.
Tit for tit. Give it your best shot. 2 punches. Go.
Look,
And have you ever noticed Kevin's face in the elevator on the way to the fight? Also, while talking about the elevators, have you ever noticed that Rainn Wilson struggles to stay in character when the elevator doors almost close on him? As for the physical comedy in this episode, The Office doesn't lean on it too much. When they do it right.
Well, it's called slap face. Slap face? How does that... 1-0.
Streets me that. Ow!
KG.
Hey! Hey! I didn't approve a stapler, okay? I said nothing harder than an orange.
I can't.
Say it.
Stop hitting me.
You can do it. Just say it.
Hit me again.
Or I can counter it with...
Yippee!
2-zip came to 11. Hey, you're pretty good at this for a beginner. Natural athlete.
What's the game I want in?
Nice job.
I made a longer montage of these, so you could check that out later if you'd like. But with that, let's dive into the deeper meaning.
Why don't you explain this to me like I'm 5?
In an interview, Novak explained that this episode centered on the effects of procrastination carried out to the nth degree. However, he noted that it was more memorable as the episode in which Steve Carell and Rainn Wilson jump kick each other in public to try to prove a point. And yes, I do think this episode does explore a common workplace occurrence, which is procrastination, something that you may be doing right now as you listen to me speak. But I think the thesis statement of this episode comes from one of the most memorable lines of this season.
Would I rather be feared or loved? Easy, both. I want people to be afraid of how much they love me.
The question that Michael asks himself is straight from Machiavelli's 16th century book, The Prince, in which Machiavelli posits the same question, and he also answers it just like Michael does. Should a ruler rather be loved or feared? The answer is that one would like to be both, one and the other, but because it is difficult to combine them, it is far safer to be feared than loved if you cannot be both.
And I think I proved that today at the dojo.
In this, Machiavelli is saying that when a subject makes a commitment to a ruler out of fear, those commitments will be kept out of the fear of retaliation from the ruler. On the contrary, commitments made to a ruler out of respect or love are easily broken, as the repercussions for breaking such a commitment are very loose. And we see this power struggle play out with Michael when he loses the mantle of power from Dwight, when Dwight's able to stand his ground and make Michael whimper away. Michael even says,
And that is when it's nice to let them know that you could beat them up.
and at the end of the episode, when Michael has regained power, he does something to try to adjust the balance of love and fear. He promotes Dwight to assistant regional manager just to be able to get Dwight back on his side. What is humorous is that Michael only focuses on his and Dwight's professional relationship and completely disregards the rest of the staff's opinion of him. We see the same kind of power plays between Dwight and his sensei, and even Jim and Pam. So it doesn't seem that the writers really take a stance on the topic, and rather opt to show that there may or may not be merits on both sides of Machiavelli's arguments in today's professional work environment. Should middle managers seek to rule out of fear or love? Who knows? But Machiavelli states, and Michael finds out, it's not always the easiest line to walk. Or I don't know, maybe this whole episode exists just to see what they could do with a fight scene in the office.
Fight, 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 fight. I'm coming. Fight.
What gives you the right?
I really enjoy this cold opening. I think it kicks off the classic Jim Dwight prank cold openings.
Where is my desk?
That is weird.
I'm giving this one a 4 out of 5. As for the episode itself, I also give this a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed this episode. This is definitely one that I appreciated more after digging into it for this review. So with that, let's get into some Dundies.
And then I gotta get him to the Dundies.
The Dundie for accurately predicting the future goes to Michael Scott.
But sometimes your best friends start coming into work late and start having dentist appointments that aren't dentist appointments. Sounds like a good dentist.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name?
Crentist.
Your dentist's name is Crentist.
The Dundie for the best movie reference of the episode goes to Kevin Malone.
Hey, game on, man.
Sweep the leg.
Yeah, I'm coming at you, man.
Sweep the leg. So we can't have an episode of The Office where we talk about Machiavelli, see fight scenes, without positing the question, if a battle royale occurred, who do you think would legit win the best fighter in The Office? Leave that in the comments. My money goes to Kevin Malone. And with that, we're coming to a close. Consider giving this video a like and subscribe to this channel. Share this with other Office fans and all that. Next week, we're going to be looking at The Client. I love Tim Meadows. Thanks for watching. See you next time.